Karan, do you realize how many people your movies and you have influenced? Like I just said in my introduction, it's like a subculture. You have been the architect of a subculture. Like, do you know that?
Well, the important thing is not to be aware of it.
Yes.
You know, the more aware you are of your achievement,
Yeah.
that's where your achievement stops.
Yeah.
You know, I think you have to just keep going. I've always said that success and failure are neighbors, and both will come visiting, and you have to treat them both equally and treat them both with equal amount of like love and care, because it's going to happen. The moment you rest on a laurel, you will stay there. So that's how I've lived my life.
Have you had tough times as a movie maker?
You know, the first couple of years of my life were actually like they were God sent. I felt I was like Beyonce's song, Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
I really felt like things were just happening. Like I sat on a mountaintop and Shah Rukh Khan tells me that I will do your next movie when you direct it. Kajal comes on board.
Yeah.
Suddenly Kuch Kuch Hota Hai happens. And then Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum happens. And then Kal Ho Na Ho happened. And then I lost my dad. And that was the first real bump on my otherwise exceptionally smooth highway. Post that, I remember feeling a bit lost. Because up to that point, I was so completely indulged. I was an only child to my parents.
Yeah.
And I still remember, I knew nothing about the economic side of things, the business side of things. I had gone to, I remember I had gone to my first award ceremony way in New York, way back in 1999. And I had signed my first lot of autographs. You know, and I came back and my father asked me to sign a couple of checks. And on those checks, I wrote lots of love. And it's because it was how clueless I was about things.
Yeah.
And he came and said, for all those who, I'm sure all of you do, understand Hindi, he came and said, Beta, unko तुम्हारा प्यार नहीं, तुम्हारे पैसे चाहिए. ये lots of love जो है ना, ये निकाल दो, बस signature अपना डाल दो. So I was like, oh God. And I remember he passed away on the 26th of June. Actually, we just finished 21 years. And there was a gentleman who walked in after the prayer ceremony and he said, you know, we haven't met, I'm your chartered accountant. Wow. And that's how little that I knew of the business. Yeah. So the real issues really began then, and I am totally grateful to my best friend from school, Apurva Mehta, who ran the company with me like a sibling. And we just kept going and, we rose, we fell, and we learned from our mistakes and continued. But real tough times, actually, if you ask me, Barkha, if I had to really speak about them, were social media. The advent of social media when Twitter began way back. It was such an amazing platform where there was an exchange of ideas, immediate validation, complete consumer feedback, so as you can say about your own product and work. And then there was the toxicity and the negativity and the troll armies and I got it all. And eventually I went from anger to indifference and now to acute amusement, because I'm like, whenever they write things about me, I feel like, wow, this troll army is so creative. I wish that they would exercise their creativity and do something better with it. Because they write such amazing things even when they're absolutely
wrong.
When they're absolutely like pulling you down and saying the most amazingly negative things about you. And I get it all, from my fashion to, but even if I sneeze, apparently, I nearly thought that they would blame me for COVID at one point of time, because everything that happened, somehow I'm responsible. There would be even news anchors, and this was before, thankfully you were not in the zone at that time.
Yes. You have to say you don't mean
I remember there was a man screaming loudly, and we all know who he is, and he would say that, "Ye dekho, Bollywood," and there would be my face. And I was like, "Ye Bollywood ne kya kiya?" And again my face would pop up. I'm like, "Hello, screaming man. I am not Bollywood. I'm one member in an industry that is celebrated across the world. And cut us some slack and stop screaming."
Yes.
Because
that especially.
we were anyway scared of leaving our homes. So we were all in our homes. Yeah. And then imagine hearing that gentleman in surround sound. It's not a very pleasurable thing, At one point you were like, my God, I might as well get the pandemic.
I mean, what would you
hitting
say
home.
to this gentleman if you met him in real life?
I hope I don't meet him.